Hey, I'm James, and welcome to Alternate Sides, a podcast about movies, parking, and a 25-year friendship. We close out the season with Steven Spielberg's dystopian thriller Minority Report, starring Tom Cruise, Colin Farrell, Samantha Morton, Max von Sydow. Along the way, we also talk about Tom Cruise's seeming immortality, Sam's first feature film, and we announce another award nomination. But for once this year, it's not for Sam. Here we go.
I've done my vocal exercise.
My son has committed himself to attending the University of Edinburgh next year.
Your son has been committed.
He's been committed. So this is, again, more Scotland in our lives.
More Scotland. The idea that you would have two kids in Scotland, if you said that like 8 years ago, whatever.
You said it 4 years ago. I would have, yes, no question. But then the fact that you've been there too, you've spent many weeks there. You've just come back from a few weeks.
All roads lead to Scotland. It's funny.
But all of this really pales in comparison to the really exciting development, which is that your wife has been nominated for a Tony Award.
The Tony Awards, exactly.
Wow,
that's right.
Way. Good for her. I have to say, when I got the news, when I saw it, I actually was moved. I actually was like, I was, because Margie has worked so hard.
Yeah.
And to my mind, has been so committed to the work of being an actor.
Yes.
And of what that really means, and not of all of the ridiculous trappings and emptiness and so on. And she's taken so much abuse, as anyone who's in that business for as long as she's been will have taken.
100%. I totally agree. We were having a bit of an argument about other things, but one of the things that is not in question, because you know how I'm
an asshole.
I'm not.
Yes, I do know that.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's one way of putting it. She might agree. She might agree with that characterization. Well, I'm not, even when with the whole Emmys and all, I don't really, the awards thing I think is a bit silly, and this and that and the other. But I did know what it would mean to her, simply because, and I said to her, the thing that I actually, the sort of the most admirable quality in a way about the way that you've, like no one is more committed to their craft and the career and doing the work, actually doing what Phil Hoffman used to say, carrying the suitcases. Do you want to carry the suitcases or do you want to be told you did great in the lobby afterwards? The work is the thing. And Margie is a great representative example of that. Like, she has carried the fucking suitcases.
Well, hats off to her. And
the other bit of news, right, if we're talking about Iranians doing well, this is the weekend that Jafar Panahi won the Palme d'Or. Did you hear that?
Huh. I didn't hear that. That's just far too cultured for me. If you told me somebody won the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, I would have heard about that.
The poor guy who's been under house arrest, been jailed, been tortured, went on hunger strike, finally fled from Iran, is not really allowed to make movies, but makes movies somehow clandestinely. Anyway, they gave him the Palme d'Or, and his reaction is, I recommend looking at it. He just sits in the chair and closes his eyes. It's really a lovely moment.
Well, so hats off to Marge, and that's just wonderful. And
yeah, it's good.
All right, we're going to talk about this movie, Minority Report, and it's good timing because this is the opening weekend of the final Mission Impossible movie.
Dun, 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 dun.
Molly convinced me to watch the penultimate Mission Impossible movie, which we'd already seen on Friday night, just as a kind of refresher, because I'm a slow person, and the idea of this and that, the entity, and
you know what she did. The reason she did that is she didn't want you being in the fucking. So wait, what is the?
I still did that.
Again?
I did that. No matter,
Who is that guy? Is that the guy?
So I watched Mission Impossible 7. Is that what it was? 7 on Friday, then I watched Minority Report on Saturday, and then I watched Mission Impossible 8 on Sunday.
Tom Cruise weekend.
Yeah,
wow.
It was a real Tom Cruise weekend.
That's awesome.
No, I don't even really know where to begin with this. I didn't love it, Minority Report, I have to say.
Wow.
There are some really good things and intriguing things, but there are also some pretty naff things.
Wow. Oh, good. We're going to have a good
I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Oh, it's
The
excellent.
jetpack chase action sequence is so silly.
Is it?
Oh my gosh, what is happening? We found like some role reversal.
I didn't expect this at all. Why don't you give your little? I'd like to hear your recap first.
Okay, so it's based on a short story by Philip K. Dick, as is Blade Runner most famously, and I think there are other ones. But the briefest summary is basically like Tom Cruise plays a cop in the future, in a future where they are able to predict crimes before they happen and arrest people preemptively. Tom Cruise finds himself accused of a preemptive crime, and tries to figure out what's going on and how that's going to happen and whether he can avoid it or not. So there's some weighty thematic stuff about free will in there, but that's the basic premise of it. It's set in 2054, I think, in the Washington D.C. area. There are these three so-called precogs, which are these people, but not really people, that are in this milky pool,
damaged,
and they're
people.
able to see the future and predict the thing. And Tom Cruise, the pre-crime division, and Tom Cruise is the head of the pre-crime division. And your old pal Max von Sydow is the
good
is in that also.
Well, I think the first thing that has to be said about this movie is that it came with a vision of the future that was, because right about we're talking about what, 2002? Is that what it is? So it's a moment when we have all kind of gotten used to the idea of the internet, but the internet is still kind of the warm and cuddly internet, right? It's not the internet of the tech overlords mining your data. But this movie basically says they're going to mine your data and everything is going to be personalized. And your privacy and your not only what you do, but what you might do will be under scrutiny.
Right.
And so
the most accurate thing is the shopping.
The shopping is incredible.
Yeah.
So that not just the look of the future.
By the way, I really don't like the way this movie looks.
Oh,
I found it so ugly. This Janusz Kaminski with the bleach bypass and the overblown lighting and everything.
Yeah.
It's so ugly.
Well, it's very much of a moment, right? It's very much of like it's creating a vision. It's creating a vision of a near-ish 50 years on from the time it was made future, which I think at the time was really the most impressive. I thought, like, I remember feeling like just the idea of how now it's almost like these clear files that come in and you can swipe and there was no swiping. Right. Like, you have to understand, this is pre-iPad.
Right. Pre-iPhone, pre-all that stuff.
The way that the information is presented and the way that this vision of the future is presented was, I thought, pretty remarkable at the time. And so that has always locked in for me. Like, even when I watch it now, I watch it through that moment of it's like The Matrix. It's like you watch it for what it was at that moment rather than, sure, if you made Minority Report today, it would be very different. But I also think that it's got probably, like the Mission Impossible movies, except it's a bit more interesting, because I do think that the story that it's based on is a bit more the idea of pre-crime and visualization and how you could trick the pre-crime is a nice it's got some nice twists and turns. I think the moment when he meets Leo Crow, the guy who he is going to kill, even though he doesn't know him, and that turn at the end of it is very satisfying.
Good. No, there's
very
a number
satisfying.
of great things. The scene with the Colin Farrell and Max in the apartment.
So there's good scenes like that between people, but then there are, of course, about 3 set pieces which are brilliant. I would put the jetpack one is like meant to be comic. And I think that's the thing. This is at some point we're going to open up the can of Spielberg and talk about Spielberg. But the jetpack one is the most Spielberg of them all. It's where the fuel, the flame from the jetpack broils the burgers. You know, that is classic Spielberg.
That
And
is really funny.
Yeah,
that is
and,
really funny.
and like, there's two things in that. There's two like comic moments in that. There's
his eyeballs rolling down the hallway was also funny.
There's lots and lots of humor that he put. That there's no way that the Philip K. Dick story, or most people's interpretation, like if Ridley Scott had made it, it would not be camp, kind of almost like kitschy funny, like the way like that they do.
Well, we've talked about, again, and going back over the previous episodes of this season and editing them, one thing that does come up again is this idea of if X script had been made by so and so, or if you gave this idea to so and so.
Yeah,
and I think that that's true, but I think my issue is like there's a really kind of like dystopian noir, really interesting dark kind of idea that you're playing with. And then it just goes into this like Keystone Cops. It reminded me also of the first second Harry Potter, the Chris Columbus ones.
Yeah.
Just like this weird and the John Williams score. Yeah, I don't know. Just it felt out of place. I don't mind. I mean, it's
the sequence that is obviously the best sequence in the movie is when he's done the eyes and the spiders. We see the spiders for the first time, and the spiders come to the building. Where again, there's moments of humor. The way that it's shot all above this like shanty town kind of thing. So you're seeing into the different. You're seeing the kids. You're seeing the couple making love. You're seeing the guy on the toilet. You're seeing the couple fighting.
And then they stop long enough to just get scanned, and then they start again.
Exactly, comedy.
So the spiders are these little bots. They're like, I don't know, what do you call them? Like the size of a lemon maybe, and they've got these little.
Those are incredibly well designed.
These little spindly legs, and they're sort of like surveillance or their ID. They're like scanning people. They go into a building and they can scan an ID around.
They're so evil.
But they have that cold insectoid, and the way they move, they scurry across. It's just like little roaches. Yeah. No.
The beauty is he goes underwater, which is a parallel to him being underwater when his son goes missing.
Right.
So he puts himself underwater, holds his breath for as long as he can, and then the one air bubble from the nose. This is classic Spielberg. The air bubble from the nose comes up, pops on the surface, and the spider, who thought he let him get away, comes back, and that's it. Like that's I remember watching that and being like, that is a fucking. There's whole sequences in this that are just even you talk about the jetpack sequence. If you notice in that jetpack sequence, the first moment when he escapes and he jumps up into the fire escape, there is an absolutely ludicrous fucking shot, which it goes into the the stairwell, and then pulls up as he's running up. It is so fucking crazy, and I'm like, how the fuck did they do that? Like, it's so brilliantly done and so seamless. Like, just extraordinarily well choreographed camera moves. And
and the automobile factory, and he gets like into the Lexus and then just drives away at the end.
Brilliant. So again, funny but brilliant.
Hitchcock had this thing I remember reading once about the car, right?
Right, the dead body drops out of
this idea that you would start a movie with an assembly line like that, and it would be just the empty frame, and then you'd watch it in real time as it goes along the assembly line, and different pieces are added, and then at the end, the completed car would roll out, and like the door would open, and a body would fall out. Yeah, that would be the opening scene. Yeah.
He said he could never solve it. That was the problem. To me, this is what I want Spielberg to do. This is what I want my Spielberg.
But you said, I mean, I'll just mention that you have said to me that Spielberg makes movies for children.
Yes. He's the best. He's the best at making movies for children.
But has he ever made a movie that isn't for children in a way?
He's made movies that aren't for children. I don't think they're very good.
Well, even, is it Kubrick who famously quipped that Spielberg managed to make a Holocaust movie with a happy ending?
He managed to make a success story out of the Holocaust. Right. Amazing. And totally right. Yeah, he's not... I don't think the thing about perfect example, that movie Bridge of Spies. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Tom Hanks. Yeah,
the beginning of that movie, the first hour of that movie, is so brilliantly crafted. He's so good at set pieces. He's so good at scenes.
Coen Brothers co-wrote that script.
That's right. You can see the parts where they've
that thing where Mark Rylance keeps saying, "Would it help?" Is so Coen Brothers. You don't seem that worried. Would it help? That like refrain.
Yeah. But that whole bit with him, and then when you get to the end, he can't help himself. Yeah, he can't help himself. He has to look out the train and see the victims of the war. Oh my God. And in a sense, there's
this too, Molly and I both cracked up when the wife comes into frame and she's pregnant.
Terrible.
And I said, oh my God, and then we both said that exact phrase. He cannot help himself.
Cannot help himself. Yeah. He really can't. Even the whole child, like the story of the child, the backstory is I haven't read the Philip K. Dick story. I bet it's not in the Philip K. Dick story.
Right.
I bet it's not. That doesn't sound like a good sci-fi writer. That sounds like a Hollywood film director who's obsessed with his own fucking broken family. Like, you couldn't pay me enough to watch The Fabelmans. I just know I'm going to vomit. Like, I find him, he's just impossibly sentimental and cloying. And when it comes to actual theme or actual emotion, he's hopeless. But when it comes to there's a shark in the water, fucking hell, there's no one better. Like that. I mean, that obviously is I guess, and I don't think that's a grown-up movie either. I think it's a movie for kids as well.
I'm looking at the synopsis of the original story, and it looks like there is no, I think you're right, there is no son.
There's no way that Philip K. Dick...
The wife is a much younger wife in the Philip K. Dick story, which that's like a very, I feel like that's a 50s...
It doesn't sound like a Philip K. Dick idea. It sounds like 100% a Spielberg idea. I know. What if there's a kid? What if he lost his kid? I do like that they don't resolve that. I do like that they don't resolve what happened to the kid.
Yeah, in the short story, he's married with no children.
There you go. So better.
Why is that better?
Because you're putting on this artificial front on top of this thing, which is the thing that these kinds of movies always want to do, is to fix the past, fix something. The character arc has to be that you go from a position of being broken to mended and everything's fixed. That's not real, is it?
The last film job that Molly did before we left London, this is back in 2009, 2010, she was still an art director at that point, was War Horse, the Steven Spielberg movie.
Oh, yeah. Based on the play, right?
Yeah, based on the play. Great score by John Williams. It's a shame, even a lesser score by John Williams. So good. Great score. But anyway, one thing for Molly, to work with Steven Spielberg. And I remember Molly had this one set that she had built, which was this huge windmill. It's set in World War I, and I think it must be in Belgium or something. Big windmill, and she designed it, they built it, they're out, they're on the set, whatever, they're going to shoot. And Spielberg just turns to Molly and says, "We're shooting your sets, kid." Like that, and then they go on. And I think for her that was like a really nice
that's good,
nice moment.
He does come across as like, what was it, the Orson Welles thing, the kid with the train set, the greatest train set that ever was built, as a movie set. He does seem and continues to appear to be charmed and enthusiastic and completely passionate about this thing. And there's no one better. Like, there's no one who understands better where to put the camera, how to tell the story in the right amount of shots, camera movement, the way, like Jurassic Park, so many moments in Jurassic Park of just iconic cinema moments,
Yeah, the T-Rex. Even in this podcast, you've talked about the T-Rex. The glass of water with the ripples on it.
and then just the that goes back to Jaws. That's the same thing as Jaws. Right. It's the shark in the water. You don't see the shark.
When the kids get trapped in the kitchen in Jurassic Park, and the raptors come in.
Amazing. Smashes against the reflection.
Great moments, yeah. Well, and just as we had said, she did Schindler's List and Jurassic Park in a year, which is totally mind-boggling. He did this and Catch Me If You Can in the same year.
Yeah. He moves fast. He knows what he's doing. That's why I'm surprised to hear that you found it a bit naff. I find that this is the sweet spot for me of Spielberg, because it's not totally, like, it's not 100% just silly children's. Like, I think it is a good question. Do you think this is a better movie than the Mission Impossible?
I don't know. Because the Mission Impossible movies are so one-dimensional, right?
Right.
And you and I joked before about how they handle the exposition.
Yeah. You're saying that I have to get
one thing is, yeah, they repeat at least twice before every set piece the exact thing.
Hmm.
So you're saying Ethan needs to get in there, pull this thing out of that, and then defuse the atomic bomb before so-and-so gets to the helicopter.
Good. And you're gonna risk all of humanity again?
The other thing they do is they split the exposition. They did that thing where they split the exposition up among characters. So if, like, there are 4 or 5 characters in a room, everyone gets a line.
Everyone does a bit. Yeah, it's like a classic bank heist idea. Yeah, you go over here, you go over there. We'll do this.
The other weird thing about this Mission Impossible movies is that especially this last one, quite a lot of, like, messianic talk about Tom Cruise. I felt like a little bit of the Scientology was coming in about the state of the world, and only he can.
He alone can fix it.
Can fix it. Yeah. Minority Report. I think what bums me out about it is that I was yearning for a different version of it. I guess I wanted to see like, I love Arrival, right? Like, that's a great sci-fi near future movie that's. Like, I want to see that version of this premise because it's so interesting and so disturbing and so thoughtful. And the other weird thing is there was a weird sort of Terry Gilliam vibe, like definite like 12 Monkeys, Brazil aspect to it, which I'm not a big fan of. Also, some of The Fugitive. I felt like there was some of that fugitive stuff too.
Well, it's a chase. Yes, it is.
But I love all that stuff. The idea of even confronting the bad guy in the end in like a banquet setting, which is exactly what happens at the end of The Fugitive, right? And him being on the phone, as soon as they give Max the revolver at the end or whatever, it's just like, exactly where it's going. But
I think if you saw this movie in 2002, you'd feel more positively about it. I think it's, you've seen a lot of versions of the future, and in fact, the future has caught up to the past. So
La Jetée, that's what I like.
Well, that is pretty good. And I think, of course, there would be an interesting non-Spielberg version of that adaptation of this, for sure. But I think in terms of the Spielberg version, this is very satisfying. And I would say that it is, no question, a better movie than the Mission Impossible ones. But you could certainly pair some set pieces against each other and go, what about this? What about that? Because both movies essentially are vehicles for set pieces.
Yeah, Mission Impossible, I mean, like, baldly so. I mean, there's basically nothing. It's just thin connective tissue from one to the next.
The submarine sequence, I thought, in this last one was extraordinary.
That's very good. I said to Molly, I was like, wouldn't it be fun to build that set, right? To do that, it's rolling,
and it's just like rolling, yeah. And the desperation at the end, like that great catch at the end where he gets caught on the thing as it's going down. You're like, oh no.
But of course, the idea of being 3,000 meters under the surface of the Arctic Ocean with
no problem. He's Ethan. Ethan's fine. It's okay. He got a bit cold. And he died, but she brought him back.
My favorite was the split sequence, which sort of is Spielbergian, I guess I would have to say, with the crew in the cabin with the Russian soldiers up.
The parallel action,
and then Tom Cruise in his underwear fighting the guy with the knife. Like,
yes, that was very good. There's also a parallel between the two movies, which is that they are in the same way obsessed with fate and free will. Because the entity knows what you're going to do, and it's basically preordained. And of course, Minority Report is all about that. And the other thing you have to say, which we haven't said at all, is that not only do we have the great fucking Max von Sydow, we also have the fucking amazing Samantha Morton. How good is she? And my favorite moment in this whole movie. Wait. That is so balloons. Beautiful. So beautifully done. That's so satisfying. Wait. run, the way she yells, run. She is raw emotion. She just has access to the primal fluid of that. She's the perfect casting for that part. She is an amazing, like, just open wound of a human being. Like, she's so fucking good. I love her in everything. She's a basket case, apparently. But, like, I love her in everything that she does. I think she's one of the greats. Going back to, like, remember, wasn't it in that, it was Sweet and Lowdown, right? Where she was the mute?
Never seen it.
Woody Allen, the jazz about...
Never seen it. We went over this a couple of years ago when it was in the movie. So.
Great movie. She's amazing in it.
Before we pivot to movies from 2003, brief conversation about Tom Cruise. The last movie star, maybe? A guy who starred in a franchise in 1996, 30 years ago, and is still doing it.
It's amazing. Did you see the thing he said? They said, how long are you going to do it? He said, I'm going to do action movies into my hundreds.
It's very strange. I mean, he's had an incredible career. I made a list of some of the directors he's worked with: Kubrick, Coppola, Scorsese, De Palma, Michael Mann, Sidney Pollack, Spielberg, Ridley Scott, Barry Levinson, J.J. Abrams. I mean, he has worked really with an incredible P.T. Anderson. I didn't put in there, like all of the giants, of the last 40, 50 years or whatever. But he made that turn somewhere around here, around like that, after Eyes Wide Shut, Vanilla Sky, Mission Impossible, just decided to become the action movie guy. He would never do something like Magnolia now, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's interesting. He has become a franchise machine. I guess he did the other stuff. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to feel like you've done movies like Rain Man, or even like Born on the 4th of July, which was clearly like passion project.
Yeah, Rain Man and Eyes Wide Shut and
Eyes Wide Shut. Definitely Magnolia, I think, is one of his best performances.
Yeah, it just seems a shame in a way.
Oh, Tropic Thunder is my favorite Tom Cruise performance.
Les Grossman.
That is my favorite, because it's the only time I've actually seen that he's funny like that.
Yeah,
like he is funny, like in that kind of action hero way. But in that movie, he's showing a level of humor that is self-awareness, that is actually...
Yeah, he insisted apparently on the big hands.
He's huge, hairy, fuck, is so gross.
Gross.
He's so gross, that guy.
He's dancing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Amazing. G5, bitch. It is, I'm not joking, it is my favorite Tom Cruise performance. He's so good in that. I think he's unique, right? He's a one of a kind weirdo, and also a lunatic. Like, remember him jumping on the couch and on Oprah or whatever? And like, he's a fucking lunatic.
I think a lot of people do appreciate him as a producer. People who have worked with him.
Yeah,
but he's committed to the idea. I would not want to get in the way of Tom Cruise and a goal.
He'll take you down.
Now, let us pivot to 2003. So this is the end of season 3, amazingly enough.
3 decades, Jimmy. How do you feel? 30 movies that you'd never seen before. 31 if you count Elf. 31 movies that you'd never seen before. How is your life richer 30 movies later?
It's been great. I mean, there are standouts. Just, the celebration from the season was a real standout to me. That was one of those experiences where you go in one person and you come out a different person in a way, even subtly. You know what I mean?
Isn't it funny how if I said to you to write the 4 or 5 movies, it would be like that, and it would be An Angel at My Table. Yeah. And it would be maybe Don't Look Now. It would be these ones that are small and intimate and personal. And yet, we all know that about the work. It's not just movies, it's that about books, it's that about all work. Like, the small kind of jewels are there, but they require work. They require you can't always, like last night when you were going to see Mission Impossible, it's a total easy thing to go
you lie back and they just spoon feed it to you.
Exactly.
You'll like this. We got it to the cinema yesterday. We got our popcorn. we sat down and the trailers were going, and I turned to Molly and I said, "We made it." She,
Just what on
she
earth?
she said something, and I said, like, that was the hardest part. Getting from the house to here. Now it's okay. Now we can watch them.
So much to unpack there. Jesus.
She was she was affectionate,
Just,
but
she just,
but
she just,
perplexed. Yeah, just shook her head with a wry
she just
smile.
closed her eyes and was like, God, what have I done? How did I get here?
Brilliant. Anyway, the end of the season. So we'll start up next season with 2003.
Mm.
2003, we were living in Primrose Hill in London.
Dick.
What is it? What is it about that's being a dick?
Yeah, I don't know. Mayfair. I was just in Mayfair, darling.
Well, Primrose, first off, Primrose Hill is not Mayfair. Okay, Primrose Hill is not, I wouldn't say it's a down on its luck neighborhood, but
No. Up and coming, real up and coming neighborhood.
It's definitely not.
I think you should stop talking about Primrose Hill and carry
on. Movies from 2003 I have seen. Old School, featuring one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a movie.
Oh, Will Ferrell
shoots himself in the neck with the dart.
That's
First time
funny.
I saw that, I couldn't breathe. I was like, I don't think I've ever laughed quite as hard as scene as that.
He's so good.
School of Rock.
I don't like that movie.
Love Actually.
Pants, actually.
Here's a little movie you might have heard of. Cry Funny Happy.
That's right, 2003. Co-starring James Levino.
I'm the first person. I speak the first line of the movie. This is your first feature film, starring Margie.
That's right.
Which I had the good fortune to write some music for. Finding Nemo. Lost in Translation.
Oh, yeah.
Mystic River.
Is that my daughter in there?
Sean Penn really going for it. Master and Commander, Far Side of the World. Which I know you haven't seen.
The boats.
It's great. You really should watch that.
Russell Crowe and boats. No thanks.
It's so much better than that explanation of it. It's about.
I don't. Please, just keep going.
It's about. Shh,
I don't care. I don't care. I don't hear anything
rules.
You're saying.
It's about the rules and our commitments to each other, relationships, order, all the things I like. Order and relationships.
Great. Yeah, I can see why you like this movie.
Cold Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
The Station Agent.
That was at Sundance when we were there, remember?
Yeah, we were all quite resentful of Tom McCarthy because
I didn't like it.
I have to say I didn't really like it either. It felt very cutesy indie, but it was a very early role for what's his name?
Pete Dinklage.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage. And and the other guy, who's the other guy? The Italian-American guy.
Oh, yeah, Bobby Cannavale.
Yeah, that got all the press that year that we were...
Well, it was that, and I thought the one that was also a bit of a sham was Pieces of April, remember?
Oh, yeah, Peter Hedges.
There were two movies that I thought, I didn't know why they were getting all that, because they seemed phony. Like, it seemed like... It's like that kind of... Remember that movie, the movie I hated so much?
Let me guess. Little Miss Sunshine.
Yes. God, I've even blacked the name out. That's like that's the biggest sin.
That was the period of cutesy indie.
Like as if this is real. I hate that shit. I hate it when you're pretending to be something good and you're
Garden State by Zach Braff.
These movies are like nails on a chalkboard to me. Fucking hell, I hate those movies.
I think we found it. We're gonna put a festival together of those and strap you in and just
loathe that shit.
Why do you? Because what you value is, what is this really like?
Yeah,
in fact, in Cry Funny Happy, we talked about this before, a very beautiful moment, which is a very tiny throwaway moment, an improv moment, where David and Margie are sort of flirting and he kind of puts his hand on the sofa towards her and then pulls it back. Just a little gesture like that.
Yeah,
that's real.
That's real. That's what I want. The body revealing itself. Characters revealing themselves despite the difference between surface and what's under. All that stuff. Cassavetes was the master of that.
And finally, The Fog of War, Errol Morris documentary about Robert McNamara, which I saw in the theater, I'll have you know.
Very good movie.
Okay, here we go. Movies from 2003 I have not seen.
Okay.
A couple of good ones in here. Start with a slightly obscure one, I think. The Dreamers, French movie, I think.
Oh, Bertolucci?
Sounds right.
Yeah, Bertolucci.
Triangle, maybe.
Yeah. It's a weird movie. I remember I only saw it the once in the cinema. It was good. It's strange. I don't think it came with a lot of hype because it was like Bertolucci movie and it was young kids like Louis Garrel, I think, and like a bunch of, and what's her name? Beautiful young woman. It doesn't.
Beautiful young woman.
Bertolucci likes those.
He sure does. All right.
Yeah. Not
a great movie. Old Boy.
Ooh, Old Boy. Wow. That's top of the list right now. You've only given me two, but that's a very good movie. Park Chan-wook. It's shocking. It's definitely like Caligari. It's still shocking. It's definitely shocking. Holy shit. I think we might have to go with Old Boy. All right, keep going.
I don't like that idea.
Old Boy.
Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
I feel like every year we pick, you have another one of those Lord of the Rings movies. Jesus.
Kill Bill, Volume 1.
Great.
Not a Kill Bill guy?
Nah.
How about Dogville?
Ooh, Dogville. Dogville is amazing. So Dogville, this is the Lars von Trier movie, Brechtian alienation movie, where it's just all lines on a soundstage.
Right, Nicole Kidman.
He got rid of the sets. He got rid of everything. He just created a universe. It's amazing. It falls apart.
Lars von Trier, I guess you got to hand it to him.
Genius. He's a genius.
All right. How? So that's on the list too. How about Seabiscuit?
The horse racing on. Margie and I saw that on the plane, and the woman in front of us was like riding the horse to victory at the end. She's like, "Come on!" And then the movie ended, and then she just hit play again and watched it again.
Oh wow!
She really liked Seabiscuit. No, that's not one for us.
Score by Randy Newman. How about Bruce Almighty?
That's a funny movie. I don't think we'd have much to talk about, but I did enjoy it when I saw it.
Elephant.
Oh,
Gus Van Sant.
That's a really good movie. This is the Gus Van Sant comeback. Elephant, and then there's the Jerry and a couple others. Like he did these series of very small, intimate, strange. This is the one about Columbine, but it's it's beautiful.
How about 21 Grams?
Oh yeah, is that Iñárritu? Who made that? Yeah, I remember really liking that in the movie theater. Good. This was the peak Sean Penn.
How about Geely?
Geely. I think that was at Sundance when it was Ben Affleck and J-Lo. Yeah. That was the whole thing. Well, it wasn't in competition, it was just a premiere, but the whole thing was that everyone at Sundance was up in arms at the idea that this so-called like pion of independent cinema had been overtaken by Ben Affleck and J-Lo's nonsense. And I think it was roundly panned.
It's considered one of the worst movies ever.
Yeah.
Old Boy or Dogville?
I think Old Boy. Dogville, the one to do was really Dancer in the Dark.
I can't do it.
I know. I think that was also maybe the year that we chose American Psycho, and I wish we'd chosen Dancer in the Dark. Because it's a way better movie. We would have had a lot more to talk about. It's also
I'll put Dogville on the list right below Funny Games. Oh God. Of movies we might get to.
Dogville is interesting. It's not we've not done a Von Trier. Like the ones to do are like The Idiots. I guess Breaking the Waves, Dancer in the Dark.
Oh, all right, mate. Well, I guess we did it. Another decade in the books. This has been a year this season. The last season came out in June.
The funny thing is, next month I'm gonna turn 50. So we started this. How much older?
Wow.
How much older than you?
2 years. Yeah, 2 years. You and my friend Steve Miller were born on the same day, July 1, 1975.
Steve Miller and the Love Band?
The Joker?
Yes. Some people call me the Space Cowboy.
Wow. Steve Miller's got some. I don't know when the last time you actually listened to Fly Like an Eagle, but that
Fly
song
like an
absolutely rips. Listen to it from a musician point of view. No, listen to the band. The band is cooking in that song.
I mean,
no, they are, man.
This is your,
Trust me.
I don't know.
Anyone who hasn't listened to this, drop everything right now and go listen to Fly Like an Eagle and tell me they aren't absolutely steaming. All right, mate. See you around, I guess.
We'll see you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's that. This brings our third decade of films to an end. We'll be back soon, in less than a year, I promise this time, with Season 4, which will cover 2003 to 2012, starting with Park Chan-wook's action thriller, Old Boy. If you subscribe to the podcast, you'll be sure to get notified when those episodes are published. If you're feeling generous, and I know you are, give us a nice rating or a review, or click the Buy Me a Coffee link in the show notes. See you around.